Hi friends, welcome back to another Tesla stock weekly analysis. There's so much to cover this week, and as always, I'll keep it short. Let's start with the charts. It is so funny that when I drew this, the stock pattern followed exactly what I predicted. Okay, do note that I'm not a predicting machine. Usually I just make a guess, and if your probability of right is more than wrong, that is good enough. Anyway, the reason how the chart played out was because of this. When I drew this, I told you it was a wedging, and thereafter there's a big gap up. I showed you many examples of Tesla's wedge, and usually when you see stock price wedging for Tesla, it usually follows by a gap up. The reason why the stock fell over here is because of that famous tweet that Elon did. I think the stock is too high in my opinion. I'm quite sure that he will not be sued by the SEC again for that tweet because he said it like a few times before. And it's not to his own advantage. He's actually trying to make the stock drop. So it's pretty funny. This is the thing that we need to do when we invest in Tesla stock. We just got to be in for the volatility. But because of its volatility, the beautiful part is the stock goes up. It goes up by a lot. So where do I see the stock going for the following week? It's going to be a very boring week. I do not see any much news moving forward unless Elon tweets again. If everything remains status quo, I believe the stock price will be going sideways. I do not think it would go beyond this mini support line which I drew. I explained to you this mini support line before in my last week and my last week's video. I hope the chart has given you clarity on what to expect for the coming week. So before I move on to the news, I would really appreciate the early thumbs up. It helps a lot for the YouTube algorithm to reach more people. Thank you. Hey friends, did you watch the 2-hour interview with Elon Musk and Joe Rogan? So he had a round 2 with Joe Rogan this time, and I see Elon Musk being a little bit reserved. I'm not too sure why. Maybe because the first time after he smoked weed, that got him into a lot of trouble. So I will highlight two things related to Tesla. So firstly, the most exciting news that came out during the last 15 minutes of the podcast. He highlighted that the Tesla Roadster 2 will have an unfair advantage with integrated SpaceX technology. I mean, it's no secret, but he said it's worth the wait. So when he sounds confident, you know it's going to be good. In case for the few that doesn't understand this SpaceX technology, maybe I'll do a fast refresher. So when the rocket comes landing, okay, this is the trimmer I used during this COVID where we cannot go to the hairdresser. This is what I do, I cut my own hair. Anyway, so when the rocket starts landing down, it will actually kind of shoot out some cold gas air thrusters from the side here to maintain the trajectory of the rocket coming down. So he's using the same technology and he's going to put it inside a Tesla Roadster 2. So he basically shoots compressed gas out. Think about it, you can put 10,000 horsepower in a car, but the laws of physics still apply. Tire traction, centrifugal force puts a big limit on how fast the car can go forward and around corners. So by putting SpaceX thrusters, it's a whole different physics equation altogether. Let me explain further by using my trimmer again. So let's say when the car wants to accelerate forward, there's only that amount of tire traction the rubber can provide between the car and the road. So imagine you put 10,000 horsepower, not all 10,000 horsepower will be used. So instead, if you put like cold gas thrusters coming out from behind, it will drastically push the car a lot more faster. And do note the 0 to 100 in 1.9 seconds, that is the base model, that is the slowest Tesla Roadster. So can you imagine how fast would be the Roadster with SpaceX thrusters? I also explained a little bit about centrifugal force. So let's say a car goes around the corner, right? When you go around the corner, there's only that amount of tire grip the car would have. After a while, the car will just slide out. You can put aerodynamics like spoilers and stuff, but there's always a certain limit. So imagine you have thrusters at the side of the car. So when it goes around the corner, and as your car is going to slide out because it is losing traction, the thrusters turn on. I'm not too sure how fair will that be. That's why when Elon talked, he said that the unfair advantage will be epic. So I'm really looking forward to the Tesla Roadster. Secondly, he talks about flu-19 death reporting. I'm saying flu-19 because YouTube doesn't really like me to say that word. So anyway, I did a fact check and I'll mix it up with Elon's thoughts. If the government says for every flu-19 hospitalization means you put a ventilator on a person for just 5 minutes, you're going to get like $30,000. And for every flu-19 patient, they'll get $9,000. Guess what the hospital administration will do? They will tell the doctors, Hey. So for every flu case, they will write flu 19, it's free money. The list of flu 19 symptoms are endless. It goes on and on and on. It's just like a common flu. So Elon said if you get hit by a bus and while you go to the ICU, you're in the ICU, you cough just before you die, that's flu 19 symptom. I mean, the hospitals are at 50% capacity now. So, they're on the edge of not having enough cash to run the business. It's pretty obvious what will happen. This brings us to Tesla and the lawsuit they filed. I read everything, and if you missed it, I will summarize it from the start very quickly. As always, when the government gave the stay-home order, it was a statewide policy that allows critical infrastructure like Tesla to continue operating. If you read this part here, my business installs distributed solar storage and or electric vehicles charging systems. Can it continue to operate? This is the direction that they gave. Yes, it's a permissible construction activity and must comply with construction safety protocol. So that means to say the business may also operate to manufacture and distribute energy resource components like solar panels. So the government said go ahead, and yet Alameda County said no. Alameda went against the governor's order and the 14th Amendment. Tesla listened and actually shut down. So a few weeks down the road, and the government said that, look, certain business, including Tesla, could start operating. Alameda County said, no. This is when the lawsuit is filed. I mean, who wouldn't? Besides, look at this picture. A picture shows 1,000 words. What's my opinion on this? I think it's really unreasonable. You see, the mayor gives support and the governor gives support, and both are higher rank. Supports the opening of that Fremont factory. So anyway, this morning, I saw Elon pin a tweet and replied to the female dog, Lorena. So if Elon pins a tweet, to me, it is as good as it's going to happen. I think I'm the first to say this, but I'm certain Tesla will move out of California. If it happens, long term is good. Anyway, lower taxes in other states, and it will be good for both the employees and Tesla. Cars could be sold at a cheaper price instead of paying taxes to the stupid government. So last week, Tesla filed a patent for battery technology. I think it's nearing the Battery Investor Day, and things are getting clearer. I will just summarize the patent for you because it took me a while to understand it. I'm not too sure I'm 100% right, but you should take whatever I say with a pinch of salt, because what actually will happen, he will announce in Battery Investor Day. It's going to be quite a technical presentation. Anyway, I'm going to summarize what the patent say. So, imagine how a battery is constructed. I'm just explaining this particular patent that they did. So a battery has 3 different layers, the anode, cathode and stuff. So they have 3 different layers, right? So how a battery is made is they'll put these 3 layers together and they'll kind of roll it up. Okay. And thereafter, they will have a plus and the minus. So in the end, this is how a battery will look like. There is a plus and there is a minus. The biggest issue with the whole construction of the battery is that, let me just roll this back up again. If there's a plus here and a minus here, there's a big row in the middle. So the thing is, the electrons from the inside has to travel a long way, spiral all the way out from the plus. The thing is, if Elon always comes from the first principle thinking is that if we don't need it, we'll just delete it away. He said it many times. So if I'm not wrong, he's going to delete away the plus and the minus. Instead, because the electrons need to travel a very long time out, what he did is that he removes the plus and he connects the whole thing on top and connects the whole thing at the bottom. So the electrons doesn't need to go many rounds before coming out. So what do I personally think about this whole patent? Tesla's innovation, it is epic. Imagine nobody's doing this now. Electrons can come out faster. That means it could deliver power better. It also could absorb power better. So charging time will definitely increase a lot. Density will increase a lot. Everything is just better if you do it this way. So lesser parts, faster charge and faster power delivery. I mean, that's just the gist of this entire patent. Concluding this video, stock price wise, I don't think it's going to move a lot, maybe a little bit up because it's following the momentum. It will still remain in the green zone. Regarding how the lawsuit will play out, in my opinion, Alameda will allow Tesla to operate and Tesla will retract the lawsuit. But over the long term, I know Elon had it with California like all other manufacturers. He's going to move out. I hope this video has given you clarity, which is my ultimate goal for each video I produce. Again, appreciate those who help me with the thumbs up. Your actions really contribute so much to this channel, and as always, invest safe.